This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, first of all, thank you to Mark Davies for letting me know about this one. So, Liam Smith has left Frank Warren and has signed a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn at Matchroom Boxing. So, it's a bit of a kicker for Frank Warren, but probably not too surprising, as all the other Smith brothers have been with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. He was the one who wasn't. He was with Frank Warren. Now, I was always under the impression that Liam Smith, he started his career with Matchroom, but as it turned out, I was thinking about Paul. So my community post was actually wrong on that one, so I shall remove it. Now, Liam Smith, as I said, he signed a 3-fight deal with Matchroom, former WBO world champion at £154, which is a light middleweight or super welterweight, depending on what you want to call it. So anyway, Liam Smith has said this: I'm delighted to be signing with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. I feel like I'm turning pro all over again. This is a new lease of life for me and exactly what I needed. I feel like I was going a little bit stale and under the radar. Without being big-headed, I still feel that I'm the best light middleweight in Britain. I had a bad year in 2018, and with the move to Eddie Hearn, I'm hoping for an active and exciting 2019. I can't wait to get out in front of my home crowd in Liverpool on March the 30th. Nothing beats it. With Eddie's deal with DAZN, there's lots of opportunities to take on big names in America. It was the very best move for me at this stage of my career, and I'm very excited. I've always had a good relationship with Eddie, and I'm happy to be working with him. The Kell Brook fight is a big fight, and it's one that could come into play, but I haven't signed with Matchroom just to fight Brook. I've signed with Matchroom to try and become a world champion again, and I believe that Eddie is the man to take me there. So that is Liam Smith's statement. Eddie Hearn also released a very brief statement. Again, I'll put this in the description box if I can. It's direct from Matchroom. They're always quite difficult to copy the links over. Anyway, Eddie Hearn's statement: I'm delighted to welcome Liam to the team. Liam is the only Smith brother we haven't worked with, and I feel he has plenty of big fights left in the tank. He's only ever lost at elite level against Canelo and Munguia, and he has boxed on a huge stage and platform in the US. He will return to Liverpool on March the 30th as he sets out to regain his world light middleweight title later this year. Eddie Hearn's statement. So, a couple of things there, and this is pretty much what I've said, and I know a lot of you guys have touched on it as well with Liam Smith. It is a case of he hasn't been active, and he seems to have been the Smith brother that hasn't had a lot of shine on him, even though he's a very, very good fighter. But let's be real, he has been thrown to the wolves on 2 occasions. One of them, Canelo. It was a unnecessary fight, I believe, because Canelo wasn't mandatory, as far as my memory serves me on that one. But either way, he gave a pretty good account of himself against Canelo. He showed a lot of heart, a great chin, all that kind of thing. Body shots were the ones that pretty much ultimately gave way. Then he took on Munguia. Munguia is an absolute animal at 154. Again, Liam Smith gave a very good account of himself. He was durable, all that kind of thing, and again, on foreign soil. So, with Eddie Hearn saying he's going to regain his middleweight title, it's unlikely. I mean, it's possible he could get a rematch with Munguia, but is that really the best idea? As I said, he can go for Munguia because he's also on DAZN. He's with Golden Boy, but Golden Boy Matchroom, they can work together, all that kind of thing. So it's a pretty easy fight to make, I would imagine. Likewise with the Kell Brook fight. Sky Sports jumped straight on that one. Liam Smith versus Kell Brook, question mark, question mark. Of course it will. That's an interesting fight, that's for sure. But first things first, March 30th in Liverpool. Obviously, Liam is from Liverpool. Potentially on a Callum Smith undercard. Potentially, we don't know that yet. That's all speculation. Either way, it's a very, very good move for him and certainly a kick to Frank Warren. But Frank Warren, he hasn't been utilising him the best way. He's one of his, or was one of his best fighters, but just wasn't utilised. For whatever reason it may be, I know Liam has had a couple of injuries in the past as well as. So there's certainly some interesting ones, and of course, maybe a long term, if he can go past the 3-fight deal with other British fighters outside of Kell Brook, of course, like a Ted Cheeseman, Anthony Fowler, Scott Fitzgerald, all that kind of good stuff. So there's certainly other fights around. I would certainly advise him to stay away from Munguia again. That's just my personal opinion, but who knows? Liam Smith is as brave can possibly come. Now, again, with him being with Frank Warren, we know Frank Warren has a very good relationship with the WBO, much like Bob Arum does with Top Rank, right? Whereas Eddie Hearn, he's pretty much IBF, WBA. He doesn't have favouritism with them or anything like that, but they seem to be the ones that's left over. WBO seem to prioritise the Frank Warren fighters, and the Bob Arum fighters. The WBC tend to favour the PBC, Al Heyman fighters. So now Liam Smith has an opportunity at the IBF and WBA. But of course, does that mean he's going to go for them? Not necessarily. As I said, he could go for a rematch with Munguia. But either way, it's a good move for him. It's a 3-fight deal. He's not at the end of his career as such. I mean, potentially he could be, I suppose. But he's a very good fighter. But I do feel, as Liam touched on this one as well, that he hasn't been utilised. He feels like he's gone under the radar, which is what I said, which is what a lot of you guys said. Inactivity, he hasn't been a household name, all that kind of thing. And that's no disrespect to Frank Warren. It's just that he doesn't have the platform to big up a lot of his fighters. Unless, of course, your name is a Tyson Fury or a Billy Joe Saunders. You know, it's that kind of thing. But with Liam Smith, him moving to Matchroom, he'll get all the opportunities that he's ever wanted. And it's almost a shame that it took him this long to come to Matchroom. But anyway, that's the news. Liam Smith signs with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. He leaves Frank Warren, and he will be out on March the 30th in his home city of Liverpool, potentially on a Callum Smith undercard. But as I said, that bit is just pure speculation right now. So, you drop your thoughts below about it, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.